Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 648. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
Yo, yo.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to our Moviecast for 648 this week. We are live streaming on Twitch starting Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. A little behind today, but that's all right. Please join us. We appreciate you guys joining us live. You can ask us questions. We chat with you on the air. If you do miss these live shows, we are on YouTube. All of our stuff's there, so go ahead and subscribe to both channels so you get the latest and the greatest of our content, okay? And welcome. All right. So, guys, how have we been doing?
Good.
All
What's
right.
going on?
Not much. I mean, it's...
Oh, you lose Jim already?
Guess so.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I thought it was me for a second. And,
Yeah. No, I definitely lost Jim, so good on you, Jim.
Am I here? Oh, my
You're-
God, my voice.
There you
There it
are.
goes.
Back.
Well, that's not good. That's wireless. So, interesting. Anyways, so
Well, you got...
did I freeze? What'd you guys hear?
Yeah, no. What's
Nothing.
going on? What's going on, Jim? What have you been
Okay.
up to?
So I did manage to get to the theaters finally,
Oh.
the movies. So I got to see Guardians
Mhm.
Guardians of the Galaxy, which was good actually. I got to see it in the Hackettstown Theater by me,
Oh, wow.
which is I mean it was the time it was playing was perfect for me. So I had a beer while watching the movie. It was kind of nice actually. And it wasn't a more expensive beer either. The prices are pretty good. The food prices are expensive, but the beer prices are $8 a beer. It's not bad. Say normal prices is everywhere. But yeah, man, I actually really loved this finale. Like it was such a great closure. And yeah, I would say, guys, more emotional than I expected. Many moments of I'm not crying, you're crying moments during the theater for me. So it was funny because Amanda couldn't make it, so I was like, well, I'll go see it, and then we'll maybe go see it again, or when it comes out, we'll see it, whatever. And then I was like, I'm like, there were some moments there. I don't know if you're gonna make it through this thing without crying. I was choking up. So a lot of good feels. I think it also had the impact of being the final one that enhances that. You know what I mean? Like there was some emotional.
You had to
moments, don't
get
me
to
wrong.
this point to pay
Yeah.
off everything else. So.
Yeah. So it was definitely that, and then it was it was a great experience to go to the theaters and see it, and a very good final chapter. I really enjoyed it, and it's doing very well. Great holds.
Great holds. Amazing.
32 million. Yeah, 32 million this week. 32.6 I think it was. So it did excellent. Like you're in the 40% holds for this thing. I mean, it didn't start off strong, but it's holding well. So I mean, it's climbing those charts a lot more than people expected it to do. So give him credit. James Gunn's swan song, I guess, for the Marvel universe, because this is it. But yeah, so that's really the big thing I've watched. I have been buying movie tickets. So
Okay.
as Corey, we've got our own tickets. We got our tickets coordinated now to go see Spider-Verse. So we'll be seeing that. And I actually just purchased the Flash tickets because my brother wanted to go see that. So I have those tickets as well.
Boo.
You gotta know Matt was gonna go see that. Tony,
When are you going?
Boo.
When are you going to see that? Because that's the one movie I plan to try to see.
June 15th, 5:45.
Is
at the
that-
Rockaway Theater.
Is that a Friday or Saturday?
That's a Thursday, actually.
Oh, well, yeah,
because
forget that. I can't do
yeah.
that.
our schedule opens up massively soon, so I can't wait. So
Yeah, and
but yeah,
just go touching back on Gardens real quick is just
Yeah.
You don't realize, and Churro chimed in here too. First good Marvel movie in forever, and it's like you don't realize how bad stuff has been until you actually see something really good, and it's like, oh wow, like yeah, it's kind of gone downhill a little bit, and
I
then you're
mean,
like, oh
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think it's a combination. We mentioned it before. I mean, maybe fatigue is a strong word, but I would say maybe saturation, because you have all these Disney Plus shows now you need to watch, and like we mentioned right after Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I mean, you had to watch the WandaVision show to make any sense of that. Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. Because otherwise, you're like, why is Scarlet Witch evil now? And it's like, well, you need to watch the show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that requirement was probably a little bit too much for the casual audience goers and stuff like that. And then Thor was just awful. I don't think Ant-Man was as bad as it turned out to, as the cinema score or anything turned out to be. But
I don't know, man.
I get it.
I understand that. Yeah, I get it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I do get the non-hype recently, and we've talked about it on this podcast multiple times. The Disney Plus shows, and I think it was a miscalculation from Marvel. Just too many. I think it oversaturated the interest in the market. Not that those were all bad shows. There was some really good stuff, but even then, you're still getting a lot of content for the MCU, and it just does start to wear a little bit on your interest. You know. I feel like there's just wasn't a good layout plan too so far. Like, I haven't really.
I feel that's also part of it too, because you had with like the first phases of the phase 1, 2, 3, and into Infinity War, Thanos. You had that looming threat, and here you're like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? And then they introduce somebody who's supposed to be this looming threat, and now that's going to be up in the air. So
I did read an article today about how originally Kang was not going to be the big bad, and they pivoted when his Loki performance was so good. So maybe they'll pivot back to their first plan now.
I don't know. I think it's probably a little too late at this point, but we'll see. I mean, apparently the rumor is that the person that was writing for the Kang Dynasty just got taken off. So, who knows? Who knows what that is going to mean? But yeah, whatever. I think at the end of the day, I think the Guardians result is good because it shows that there's still good stories to tell. It's not necessarily superhero fatigue. It's just it's got a little pickier. And again, I stand by the fact that the such a quick 45-day or whatever 60-day turnaround to show on Disney Plus. If it's not like a water cooler movie like Avengers and stuff like that, a lot of people are just gonna wait. Especially with the the economy and looming recession and all that stuff. I mean, and movie theaters are so expensive. They're so expensive these days.
That's why I try to go to the matinees all the time.
Yeah, the Regal by me doesn't even do matinee discounts at all. I'm just like, what?
That's ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous. So I'm just like, well, I'll go to the AMC then. But then it's a little farther away and stuff like. But I like it better. But so I'm willing to make that trek. But I'm just like, you're not offering any discount on shows before for whatever. I'm like, all right, I see.
I would even understand like a 2:30 showing still not giving a matinee. They still do it AMC, but I would get that. But like an 11 o'clock in the morning show, that's a matinee.
Nope.
Yeah, that's crazy. So wow, but. Yeah, I mean, I just paid. It was $20.60 a ticket for the Flash. That's what it costs for Dolby.
That's absurd, dude.
That's what it just was.
No, I mean, that sounds about right though for was it primetime showing?
Yeah, it was.
You doing like a Dolby
middle
seats
or something? Yeah, Dolby Cinema. Yep, Dolby Cinema. I love going to the Dolby Cinema one.
No, Dolby's great. I think it's better than IMAX, honestly.
Back to the Guardians, that's another reason why I went to the other theaters, because once it leaves the big theater, I'm like, well, now it opens up other options for me in the area for theaters, and it's cheaper to go to the house.
If you're not going to go see Dolby, you can just might as well go see it anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I spent $22 to go see Guardians, and I just spent $21 to see the Flash, but I got a beer and the Guardians one. So, so it's like, that's why I do that. But I do love the Dolby experience. More so than the IMAX experience, even. So that's just
yeah. No, I agree.
I hear that. I will say, speaking of IMAX, I did see a movie in IMAX this weekend.
What'd you check out?
I saw Fast 10.
Oh yeah,
did you actually see it? Okay.
Heck yeah, I saw Fast 10. But yeah, I saw it in IMAX because I couldn't make the Dolby one. Like they had a Dolby at 11. I couldn't make it at 11, so I went to the 12 o'clock IMAX one. And I will say the IMAX screen is still really fantastic.
Impressive,
I mean, that screen is awesome. It's just it's not as nice as the chairs are not as nice. I mean, the sound's not as good, but the screen is really nice, I will say. And you do like when they go IMAX, you're like, wow, that's pretty impressive. So that was neat to see again because I haven't been to an IMAX theater because I'm gonna go Dolby 100 times out of 100 if I can. So
agreed. So,
but
we were talking about Spider-Verse. We almost went to see it in IMAX, but we got the Dolby ones instead.
Yeah, it's only if you can't. But the Fast 10, I like these shows. They're these movies. They're basically just spectacle now, and turn your brain off and just have fun with everything that's happened on screen. This one, like, they are going hard on this not multi, but this universe, this Fast and the Furious universe now, because this movie and every like they've been building on this like every prior like since I think seven really is like something from prior movies is coming back, and then something from the prior movies coming back, and it's like all tying into that. And this one does the same thing where it ties into a previous movie, and you're now seeing different angles of that movie. Here it's like, oh, we didn't see this side of this movie, and now we're getting the ramifications of their actions here, and it was interesting. And Momoa is such a like he puts on this crazy performance. Like I was very impressed and
Really?
shocked by what he was doing in this movie, because it's not the typical badass like tough guy big brute performance. It's like way different. He's doing almost a Joker performance, and it reminded me of like he's doing the Joker.
Oh,
Which Joker?
interesting.
Um, I would say more on the almost like Caesar's Joker,
Oh, really?
Oh,
Like a,
okay.
okay.
like that. Like just he's flamboyant. It's like weird. Like there's a point where he's like jumps and clicks his heels or something. And it's like, let's go. It's like what is? There's
Okay.
something weird like it's like really weird. And his outfits, yeah, I think he's talking about it too. He's like, I can't act, so I'm just gonna let my outfits do the talking. And so,
I can't act.
so yeah, it was fun. I thought it was a lot of fun. This one definitely has a lot more CG in it, I think. And that like you can see that they're leaning on it a little more than prior movies. I do like in the prior movies they do a lot more practical stuff. But here there's a little more CG involved, but that's all right. Like, I mean, again, it's a superhero movie at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
it's the family. It's about family, and this one's again family.
Yeah.
It's also part one, so it has a cliffhanger
Yeah,
ending.
well, Vin Diesel's been talking. Apparently, it was supposed to be a duology, but now it's apparently going to be a trilogy or something. And I'm just like,
I don't know if they just don't want to get off of X or something, but like I don't know. Like,
I mean,
it's
I don't
fine.
know.
It's
Like,
this one's 11, the next
the
one's
the opening domestically was not good, right? It was below 100.
oh, it
67
wasn't, but
67
worldwide it was kicking ass.
Yeah.
No, worldwide. I mean, worldwide's doing good, but
So they're, I mean,
You
they're
know-
definitely they keep going.
It's down.
but I mean, this was expensive. This was
Yeah.
I heard it was like the budget was like 300 million or something like that. Something super
Also,
absurd.
like a superhero movie, anybody that dies isn't really dead. You know, like Han came back, and so like yeah,
Yeah, let me see. Fast X budget.
Yeah, it did
I
67
think it
million.
made like under 70 this weekend.
67.
Oh my god, it's even higher. According to Diesel, an earlier draft excluded Brewster's character, which he overturned. Fast X's production budget was initially reported to be 300 million in May 2022, which was revised to 340 million in November.
Oh.
The cast was reportedly paid 100 million for their involvement, including 20 million for Diesel. So there's no way this is making its budget back. I mean,
It's
you know
already
what,
made its
guy-
budget back almost worldwide.
I mean, it's at 330 million, I believe.
I mean,
that
we're
right?
talking about profitability. I'm not talking
I'm
about.
just saying, like, if we're just saying, like, I mean, worldwide it's doing fine. I mean, it's not doing great domestically, but
Yeah, but then you
Worldwide.
get to
It's
the the thing that the exchange rates and everything are not favorable right now.
It's been downward trending every release. If you look at I think the last movie did 76 million. This one did 67. The one before that did like 92. You know, it's steadily going down.
I mean, losing Walker definitely hurt it a lot.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's out of their control, obviously. It's and it's sad, but
Um,
and yeah, I mean, I think that hurt my interest in this series as well.
yeah,
If you think back
and
to it. So.
the funny thing is, like, all this fame, like, you're pushing these people into doing these things, that they, like, and the reason Paul Walker's character is not there is because of family. Like, he's got to protect his family, so he can't be there, and yet we're putting these other characters in the same situations
It's
with
weird that they
their
didn't.
family.
It's weird that they didn't find a better in-universe way to address that than just
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
No, I mean, once, because they decided not to like kill the character off, which is a fine decision, but now they're making so many more movies after this that you keep having to reference the fact that he's not there. It's just very glaring that it's weird that he's not there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
But yeah, this is fun, a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. So
Cool. All right.
I liked Momoa a lot in this.
Interesting. Did not expect that. So
Mm-hmm.
cool. All right, Mike. What about you? Anything?
I actually got to the theaters
Mm-hmm.
because we actually had, you know, my family babysit a little bit, and we were away for a day or two. And one of the things we did is we saw the Mario movie at
Nice.
1:30 matinee over at in Morristown actually. And you know, we used some old AMC gift cards and saw it, and it was all right. It was pretty good. I mentioned this in the Discord if you wanted to see it, but overall I'd say it's closer to what I would want out of a Mario movie than the Sonic movies were to what I would want out of a Sonic movie. But part of that is I expect a little more story from Sonic. But this was good. It was fun. Ashley really wanted to see it, and she liked it. She did think the very depressed Starbit guy was a little too much for a kids movie. I thought it was funny though.
Yeah, I thought he was hilarious. Yeah,
It was the best.
But yeah, it was good. I mean, and actually Chris Pratt was pretty good. I didn't mind him what he did with
he
it.
was the weakest link, but
I don't know. I mean, the especially they even have a little fun with it with, you know, Martinet's cameo early on is I think they justify it pretty well early on why he is the way that he is. And yeah, and it's different enough. It's not necessarily just him.
Mm.
I ended up being more impressed because I expected it to be bad. And really I didn't mind any of the other interesting voice choices, even Cranky Kong.
yeah. No, but like,
But yeah,
did you appreciate this all digital world as opposed to the mix from Sonic? Is that which what did you? I mean, is that what you're looking for as a Sonic movie coming up, or what?
I
'Cause
would
think you had said
say
that you like this more than the Sonic movie. Did
no,
you?
I don't know. They're like the same, but I would. This is closer to what I want from a Mario movie than the Sonic movies are of what I want from Sonic. I just want a little more of a in-depth like universe and like story with Sonic more than just like, oh, Sonic hangs out with some humans.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
this is you know, this was good. It was just, you know, obviously it was not a lot's going on plot wise, and just things just kind of happen at the end that don't make a lot of sense, but it's all right.
Yeah.
But you know, it was fun. I liked it. Really don't have any major issues with anything either, so it was fun. It was good.
Tony, anything?
Nothing noteworthy. Just more Gundam.
Yeah, I watched some of that actually. I've got only like the first three. Well, the 0, 1, and 2.
Yeah.
But I watched those 3 episodes. I forgot how like I can get so hooked on Gundam like it's
so easy.
Quickly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you forget about it because like I remember the run after Wing I went into where I went back to the old series and I was like watching a bunch of that, and then like how you can see the series morph into the where it headed, and it just like this one really makes me remember Wing a lot. It just has, I don't know, I get this like vibe with this like that. It's just, I don't know, it's not the same obviously.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good. Stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it for me. Interest level, I haven't had that feeling like I gotta consume this. Not that I wasn't like consuming the old Gundam stuff, but like it's been a while since I've seen that. So it's like I skipped like the other series.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something special about it. I mean, I think having the first female protagonist in the history of the franchise is quite noteworthy. But I think they're just hitting on all the angles correctly because I mean, even Sunrise I think owns it, or I forget, but they just released or Hasbro or Bandai Namco. I'm sorry, not Hasbro. Just released that the Gundam like merchandise has sold the most ever in a quarter or a year or whatever it's been
it's
since
everywhere,
Gundam's
really.
victory.
Yeah.
Like, they sold out of the one kit. Like you could not find it in Japan at all. Like they just did not produce enough, and they're like, we're gonna make more. Don't worry, you just gotta hold on a little bit. And it's just like, I've never seen that happen, like ever, you know. So it's pretty crazy, but yeah, it's exciting to see, and you know, especially if it gets new people into the franchise, and you know, always good to see new fans and stuff.
All right. So anything else, Tony? Or that's
No, that's it.
all right. Let's, like we mentioned, the box office earlier. Like I said, Fast 10 was Fast X, 67 million. Guardians was 32.4. Mario Brothers still did 9.6, which is very impressive for a movie that's out now for early access at home. So very impressive.
Yeah, it's third right now, just behind Frozen 1, and then Frozen 2 is at the top. So
yeah,
we'll see if it gets.
So
I think they can get it.
What are you looking at? 1.3, 1.4 for this? They're gonna make.
Yeah, they might be able to eke to 1.5, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That'd be interesting. So, all right, let's see. Coming out next week, anything big? Or they have a week off, and then we have the. Oh, next week is we're on the week, right, for Spider-Verse? No, we're not. It's one more week.
That's next.
I'm off by a week. What? Anything this weekend for Memorial Day weekend? Not really, right?
I don't know.
I don't think actually. What's on the
like
docket?
I just realized it. I'm like, there's like, what is coming out this week?
But Transformers is June 9th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's after.
I mean, yeah.
And Spider-Verse is the week before that. So then.
Oh, it's Little Mermaid.
Oh, that's right.
Live action Disney. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm probably gonna go see this with my stepdaughter, but you know, a family thing. But
you
yeah,
can report your full-fledged afterwards then when you watch it.
Listen, I have no problem with what Disney's doing, but I'm not hyped for live action remakes of movies. I'm just not.
So you have a problem with what Disney's doing?
No, I don't have a problem with it. They are more than welcome to do what
Disney's
they're doing. I'm just not hyped to go see their stuff. Yeah.
They made the animated fish characters way too realistic.
Yeah,
Make them cartoony.
Flounder looks terrible.
Yeah, but they're the first.
Flounder. Freaking Sebastian looks terrible.
Yeah, Sebastian doesn't look good. Yeah,
they're the first draft of Sonic. You know,
that's what it reminds me of, Mike. That is what it reminds me of. I'm just like, I don't know. So we'll see if I see this weekend or Monday maybe, but we'll see.
Reviews have not been kind to it so far.
No.
They're saying there's a lot of like new material, like they added like I think 30 minutes to the story or something like that. It's really weird. I don't know.
What's there to add?
Well, that's exactly it. Like I don't know, man. Like whatever.
Yeah. I've heard.
Do you think it's making more than Mario? I don't. I do not think.
No way. There's no way.
I don't know.
I mean, like it's gonna be hard to have anything make more than Mario.
This year, yeah.
I mean,
I can't see it.
I think I could see it opening like at 80 million for like just because it's a family movie.
Kids thing,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I'm gonna go with 60s.
I think to be honest, I think Transformers actually has a chance to do really well this movie. This
really?
Rise of the Beast movie.
Enough of a gap from release, Corey.
Yeah, I think it's it's upward trending. Transformers. I don't know.
It's gonna have that.
Good about it.
It always has had that international appeal, anyways, so it's gonna do well. But we'll see what it does domestic. I do think it's been long enough. As long as it's a fun movie, it could do really well for the summer. So I do agree with that.
Yeah,
but
it's a dark horse right now.
The problem is, does it actually take on Spider-Verse on its second week and beat it?
I think so. I mean, as much as I am looking to Spider-Verse,
I don't know about that. Yeah,
it's not really that strong of a. I mean, I don't even Spider-Verse is going to break 100 million opening weekend. That would be surprising if it did. I mean, I think that's the higher end, the ceiling end. 100 million.
I think the first one had such long. It was just in the theater forever. It did so well. Long legs. So, all right.
8 of them.
Let's see. Yeah, that's true. So, all right.
I mean, June is as crowded anyway, because like then you have Flash, and then at the end of the month you have Indiana Jones. So,
that's what I was going to talk about. I was going to mention they had early screenings for that. Not good early screenings.
Oh wow, that's weird. That is so weird. I am very surprised. I'm very surprised at that.
It's still going to do well. It is still going to do well. If you look at,
I think Transformers is the best movie. Not best. But I think it's going to make the most money of the 4 movies we just mentioned in June.
Wow. Ooh,
I mean, Indiana Jones has a high-ass budget, too.
Yes, but I do think Indiana Jones does very well ticket sales-wise. I'm not calling it a good movie.
No, I know. It's not a good movie.
No, I don't see Indiana Jones doing anything really that exciting.
We'll see. You forget, like, it's the Crystal Skull.
$300 million is the budget. That is insane, dude. There's no way.
Basically, every
very good
triple blockbuster is going to be $300 million.
I don't know, man. Like,
it might be normal now. You're right. That's another one you rattled off the same budget. But like Crystal Skull did very good in the theaters. It did like really
Yeah,
good.
that was ages ago, man.
yeah, that was
Just
over a
saying, like,
decade ago.
I
at this
know.
point.
I'm just saying, like it was a
If
bad
it did so
movie,
well, they
but
would have
very
done
good.
another one very quickly afterwards. So, you know,
Yeah. So,
I'm sure the market
Alright.
was like, we don't need another one for a while. Wait until Harrison Ford's a little older, then do it. It's like, yeah. that'll-
Well, okay, let's do this, Jim. Do you think Dial of Destiny does better than The Flash? Or does The Flash do better? than
Oh, Dial of Destiny. Dial of Destiny.
What? Than The
No,
Flash?
no way. The Flash.
I think, like I said, I think Indiana Jones is going to be the lowest grossing one out of the 4 in June.
No, I think Spider-Verse probably will be lower, but
I don't want it to be.
I don't want it to be either, but Mike might be right. But I don't think.
Yeah.
Listen.
But no, I think it's going to be Transformers, and then Flash, then Spider-Verse, and then Indiana Jones. I just think it's
Ooh.
like, who actually, I don't know. I don't care about Indiana Jones anymore, but it's just like,
Just
there are people, you're right, there are people.
underestimate Harrison
I'm
Ford.
not seeing that because I've got blinders on how terrible this thing looks.
That's
But
all I'm saying. Like I think we all do, and I'm like, you have to recognize the fact that it's probably going to do very well. And I'm like, it doesn't make it a good movie, and I'm not expecting it to be a good movie, but I'll probably see it. I'll probably see it as well. I just the interest. It's the interest level for me. I do want to see it. Like I want to know how bad it is. Like because I'm like the Indiana Jones fan of me wants it to be a good movie. I know it's not going to be, but I want it to be.
I'm sure there'll be
it can't be
parts
much
of it
worse
you'll
than
like.
Crystal Skull. So
But like I have the same expectation right now as the Flash movie. Like I have the exact same expectation. Like I'm
Oh.
not expecting a good
You don't trust all these celebrities they brought out of the
No,
woodwork to say it
I'm
was
gonna
great?
Just tie this into the news. I've got Stephen King was
Yeah.
invited to see it, who says it was a great film. He loved this Flash.
you
movie.
do. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. It's got Ben Affleck as Batman again, and I love Ben Affleck as Batman.
Like I'm excited for Keaton to be back, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna like. I think it's gonna be a good movie. Like it's just, I mean, it is what it is. It's just I do expect them to be similar like scores. And I do expect. I do.
Oh,
I really expect. Them. Yeah, I do, Mike. I'm sorry. I don't expect the Flash
Well,
to be
that's
good.
okay. I mean, so you just want to say you don't want to believe anyone, including your boy James Gunn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's his
hard
job.
to believe anybody right now, just because they're all gonna hype it up.
Yeah. Who's gonna tell
mean-
me don't go see this movie? It's a good movie if they're attached to it.
Well,
It's
is
not a
Stephen
good-
King attached to it? And James Gunn also completely shat on some of the other pre-existing projects in DC that he was inheriting that was coming out, but he
What did
didn't do it with
shit
this
on?
one.
What are you talking about? What did he shit on?
Shazam,
He
I
sh-
guess.
He shit on Shazam pretty much.
What did he do?
Shit on Black Adam
What did he do? What did he say?
because he publicly put the kibosh pretty much on continuing any part of what happened
That's
in
not
it. And that
shitting on it.
completely-
How is that
Yes, it
shitting?
is.
How is that the equivalent to being like Shazam is
because he-
At
bad?
the premiere. Actually,
Because
he
he-
was at the Shazam premiere. I'll take that back. Black Adam, I'll give you, but I'm not. I'm taking back the Shazam one because he was there at the premiere. He was promoting it.
Because he completely handicapped how well it could do by saying like this
Just
doesn't count anymore.
because He's starting his universe. He's not like it's not shitting on it though. He didn't call it garbage. I would say the Black Adam. You have an argument because there wasn't like online.
Rock, man.
Yeah, you had an
Rock
online
is
argument.
sabotage.
about it.
He
Yeah.
Rock's basically sabotaged DC and the movies. Like,
Yeah, be mad at the Rock. I don't understand why you're mad at James Gunn and not the Rock.
Because The
I mean,
Rock
Rock
tried
is-
to do something with what they had, and James Gunn just was like, nah, I don't
Oh,
want
yeah,
to do
Rock,
that.
Rock tried to. He tried to promote his own brand.
Mike, how do you not have like any interest in Superman Legacy?
He-
Like, I'm kind of like
thing
really
is,
excited for
The
this.
Rock, he wouldn't even let anybody show up in any other movies, and he didn't want to show up in the Shazam movie, let alone be the the protagonist, which is what he is to Shazam. Like, what? Like, come on, dude. Like, that's your role. If you want to play Black Adam, play your role.
No, he doesn't want to be the
wanted
Black
his
Adam. He wants to
own
be the Rock.
Listen, man, I was happy with what happened in Shazam. I mean, Black Adam, and I would have liked to see where they went with that.
Yeah, it would have been nice until he said, no, you can't use me anywhere else, and everything is going to be on my, like, I'm going to be the
And
center of this universe.
I
Like,
don't
no,
want
that's
him
not how it
any
works.
ties with Shazam, even though there was clear ties with Shazam.
Yeah.
Like there was.
Like, Shazam didn't even show up in
Confusion.
the Black Adam movie, which
I'm
they
not
were
getting
supposed to
into
do,
this.
and he's like,
I'm
no,
not getting
I'm
into
not
it.
going to let
I'm
you
not
be in
getting
my
into
movie.
this. I'm done with it. And I'm done with the DCU EU. I'm so done with this. I'm ready to move
You're
on.
only
Like,
in for the James Gunn
Yeah, I'm psyched
DCU.
to see what he can do, especially after Guardians. He did a great
James
trilogy.
Gunn has not missed, so yeah, why would you bet against that for Superman Legacy?
Like, where's his like? Oh, I'm not gonna trust this because he just handled superhero movies so shitty.
Did you
didn't.
really like the newer Suicide Squad that much? That he did?
It was better than the first
Okay.
one by
It
far.
was better than the first one. It was
Marginally.
fun. At least it was fun.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it
It's
wasn't for
so-
the first one, I would have liked it a lot more because the worst parts about it were just where I felt it was like a retread.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
I mean, it
so we
spawned a
got-
great series that he's done with Peacemaker.
yeah.
It was a fantastic series.
That's fine.
In a character that I was like, why is this guy in this movie? And then I'm like,
Who
wow.
cares about this guy? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something he had to inherit, like half-assed. Like, here you go, James Gunn. Use these characters. Like, oh, cool. All this baggage. Guess I'll make the best I can do.
Kill
Yeah,
off
I don't know.
everyone I can.
Yeah.
All right. Let's flip over to Marvel. Flip over to Marvel.
All right, flip it over, Jim.
The Echo series, which we mentioned was going to series drop actually in November. Not sounding good. Apparently, like Kevin Feige didn't like any of what he saw from the series and thought about scrapping it, according to reports. And so what ended up happening, rather than doing just some reshoots, they pretty much reshot the entire series. So that makes me believe that like still dropping it like all in 1 week, like the same day, not high hopes for this series even after they've fixed it. Right? Is that what we're getting now?
Yeah, I mean, I
Probably.
just think it's, again, one of those things where I think they just need to be a bit more picky with what they release. Like, you know, there's something as there's something that exists that, you know, you overcorrect, where it's like, you know, for years and years, it's like, okay, you got like what, 2 Marvel movies, and they ramp up to 3, and now we're up like to 4. You know, going along with how much money they're making and stuff like that. So then people are just wanting more content. So you know, okay, we'll do TV shows and start it out again. Like what, 1 or 2 a year, and then we're up to like, you know, 3 or 4. But now it's like ancillary characters, and it's like, are these the best ones to go with? Like, especially when it's like Echo, she's like a side character, pseudo villain in the Hawkeye series, which again was great. I think we all remarked how great that series was. But it's like,
I thought her character was great, but do we need a series? Of
right?
her?
Do we
Like
need a
full
series about her, or like?
Yeah.
Would it have been better to wait more for Daredevil and for her to be, you know, part of that series if they wanted to tie her into the Kingpin and stuff like that?
You could have done that and then hyped her up even more, and then if there was still interest in that,
right? Well, here's what I'll say: like, would you rather
story there?
Right.
That's the thing.
So that's the thing: is if it's a good story, it's great. But like me personally, on paper, without knowing anything behind the scenes, I would have had Daredevil this year, right?
Yeah.
You know, than Echo. Like I would have loved to see Daredevil before Echo and stuff like that. But
Okay.
again, whatever. I think the strategy for just dump it all and be like, okay, so then people are going to hate it probably, and then but it'll be out of the news cycle because releasing it week over week just lets people just get so bitter and sour about, like me with fucking Obi-Wan. Like every week I'm just like, this sucks. This fucking sucks. Oh look, another week of suckage. Rather than just like, okay, well this just sucks and we can move on.
Gotcha. No, I can't disagree with that. So. You know what
Well,
sucks?
who knows? Maybe all those reshoots did.
I hope so. I'd rather have good stuff than bad stuff. But like, if even Feige's like, yeah, I don't think this is releasable. It's like, oh shit.
You didn't think it was releasable. That's
Yeah.
the problem. Yeah. I thought about scrapping it entirely, but so. All right. Lastly in the news, we got Netflix. In the news, not in a good way.
Nope.
Oh,
Got
I
the
guess
email
I
today.
don't know.
Got the email today. Too.
Did you get it?
Mhm.
So they are cracking down, obviously, on password sharing, which we knew was happening. Hey. So
Got a little special guest.
special guest on the podcast.
Good night, bud.
So they're cracking down on the good night.
Good night.
They're cracking down on the where was I?
Passwords.
sharing. Yes. So $7.99 if you want to share your password now.
That is ridiculous. Because like, you know, here's what I'll say. Like, and this is probably a hot take because, you know, it's not necessarily pro-consumer, but like, I get and I've been saying this for years. Like, Netflix absolutely was leaving money on the table by having the password feature be so, you know, whatever. Like, you could share it. Like, they even like, you know, tweeted about it years and years ago. Like, they're like, oh yep, love is like sharing your Netflix password or something like that. And like, you get it because it was just good word of mouth. And, you know, regardless, they were in their growth phase, right? And now they're entering their profitability phase, which I get. But, you know, the thing is,
$7.99.
that's where I'm like, look, I get you guys want to make more money, and I get that. I totally do. Like, you know, this golden goose wasn't going to leave, you know, golden eggs forever and stuff like that. But like, to go from $0 to $8, that is a large hike. Like honestly, if it was like $2 or $3, I'd probably be like,
even
okay, whatever. Even
this.
four,
Half
even
of it,
four.
yeah.
But like to go from like 8, like that is a huge bitter
That's
pill
not
to
a
swallow.
one-time payment either.
No, that's every month.
Monthly.
Yeah,
Monthly.
right. Like
It's
so, like
basically their base subscription. I think isn't it $7.99 or is it $9.99 now? It's $9.99.
I forget, but it's
I forget.
But that has ads, I think, or something. I forget.
Yeah, I think that might be their ad one. Is $7.99.
God.
But yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's unfortunate, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna.
I
be
mean, at
rough.
that point, it's basically just like might as well just get your own.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
they're not gonna be popular.
I mean,
that's for certain.
it's not that
That's
bad
what
because
they
I mean,
want, though. That's what they-
it's
that's what they're
you're getting like
pushing
half
for.
off a Netflix subscription because it's if you're talking about
If you want the
adless,
higher,
yeah.
higher.
I think it's ridiculous. You still have to pay even more for 4K. I mean, that's not even a thing for me, but I just think as a consumer thing, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, that's what I was looking at today. Was Max launched? You know, HBO Max and
Oh, yeah.
Discovery.
No, just Max, just Max.
I
Max
know.
launched, okay.
HBO merged with Discovery, so Max is what they formed, which is I have Discovery Plus, which I enjoy watching with Amanda. We all watch that here a lot, and so that's cool. And I was like, well, what's it going to cost to add the HBO side? And it is cheaper, but when they put 4K behind a freaking paywall again, like why are we putting 4K still behind a paywall in 2023?
I mean,
like seriously.
I mean, I kind of understand.
It's more bandwidth.
It's more bandwidth, and the thing is, like, because we're like, I think I mentioned this a long time ago, but like, we are in America, we are subjected to ISPs, like we're beholden to their mercy.
Pretty bad.
Their mercy. Where if you go back years ago, like I want to say 8 years ago ish, like a lot of the ISPs were saying they want a cut of Netflix money because so much of the bandwidth being used was for fucking Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know the outcome. I think it was one of those like, we're just gonna resolve this behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, everybody stopped talking about it, and part of me is like, I kind of feel like Netflix did make some kind of like backdoor deal. It's like, okay, whatever, like we gotta make the ISPs
we talked
happy.
about this other thing before, like 4K assets. That's like huge data dumps. So like I can understand why they make you you have to pay more for 4K. I get it because in the end, it's really for the visual.
I love it. I mean, I don't need it though.
Look,
like,
if you can watch something in 4K, then you have the money to pay.
No, I like my 4K.
Well, that's not true. 4K TVs are cheap as shit nowadays.
Not only that, but like,
okay, if you have the 4K TV and you have the bandwidth ISP program from your internet service provider for 4K, you have the money to pay an extra.
The thing that I hate is like you definitely are paying for the bandwidth for
That's what I'm saying. Like you're already paying for that. Yes.
From your ISP.
Right, from the ISP. That's what you're paying for. Like, I'm like, oh, hey, here's 400 down, and
yeah, but Netflix got to pay that too.
No, I got it. I'm just saying, like, you're already paying for it. They
want
it is a big data dump, and so I get why they're charging for it.
So I think it's $150 if you do annual on this. It's $150 for the year for the 1080p, and it's $200 for the year for the 4K. Isn't that a lot? I just feel like that's a lot.
I mean, for me, that's a lot because I mean, we've already talked about like HBO is cutting content. They're reducing content. Like
everyone's cutting content.
No, I know, but like at least Netflix is continuing to create content I want, right? Mm-hmm. I don't even know if Disney's going to be doing it anymore. Like Andor was fine, but like everything else, like I don't know. We'll see. Ahsoka is going to be up in the air. The Marvel stuff, I'll care when Daredevil comes around, and I'll tune into Loki season 2 because I have it until October or whatever like that. But to sign up for a whole year, that is brave. That is brave.
Yeah. I mean, they want to save you 20%, but I'm like, if you do the math, it's not saving you too much per month anyways. So you can just go month to month and probably cancel and save money.
Well, that's the thing. That's my entire point, and I will repeat this until it stops being true. But you don't need to subscribe to these things every single month for an entire year. Take a month or two off. That's what you like. Honestly, it's like they don't come out, only with the exception of Netflix. Nobody comes out with content you need every single fucking month. So instead of being like, oh, I gotta subscribe for a whole year, just fucking do it when a series comes out that you want to watch. Right? There's no other point to it.
Oh. All right, let's wrap up the Moviecast.
Just want to shout out that Ray Stevenson died.
Oh yes.
Ray Stevenson.
Yep.
Punisher Warzone.
Yeah. No, he was in the Thor movies as one of the
Volstagg, I think his name is Volstagg.
Yeah, and then he was also recently he's gonna be in Ahsoka. Yeah, you mentioned
So yeah,
Pretty young
he
too.
had a great acting career.
58.
58. Yeah. Oh man, rest in peace.
So,
You don't realize what kind of roles he had, and then you go back and like I keep seeing his face like everywhere, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I remember that role. I remember that one. So, yeah,
even what's the was it Lance?
Reddick.
Yeah, Reddick. You know, I was just watching clips of Castlevania, the anime.
Oh yeah.
And one of my favorite parts, and I think Jim, you agreed with me on that, was when what's his name? Not Hector, the other one, Isaac, was talking to the captain on the boat. That one episode.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was him. That was him as the voice actor.
That's right.
I was like, oh shit! Like, I started listening. I was like, oh no! I was like,
yeah,
that's
he's got this distinct voice.
yeah. He's got a distinct voice, and yeah, just fantastic. So yeah, just,
Yeah. Sad.
rest in peace
Both
to him.
very
So,
young.
yep.
All right. Unfortunately, that's the end of the podcast. We're gonna wrap up the movie cast. There's nothing else in the news, so it's gonna do it for tonight. Once again, we're gonna go Gamecast next, so stay tuned. We're live on Twitch Tuesday night starting at 8 o'clock. YouTube the following day if you can catch these live. Subscribe and leave a comment for us. We actually leave a comment over on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We love to chat with you either way. So we'll see you guys on the Gamecast. We're out.